Hello, people. Welcome to another episode of Grand Football Weekly. It is the penultimate week of the season, game week 37. Wow, we've come to the end of 2024-2025 season, and we already know who's champion. Liverpool are champions. We already know who's been relegated. Southampton, Leicester, and Ipswich. But the places for Europe are still up for grabs. There's still quite a few teams fighting for different places for Europe. And that is where we are all looking at this remaining games of the season. So, how have you enjoyed the season? Has your team done well? Or have they been just as bad as mine? Yes? No? Okay, let's look at game week 37 and let us see how the games are going to go. So, because of the FA Cup final, there's a few games that would go past the normal games that should happen at the weekend. So the games are from Friday up until Tuesday. Well, there's no game on Saturday because of the FA Cup, which they've given it that respect, because obviously normally the FA Cup is played after the season's finished. But this season, the FA Cup is in between, well, before the last few games of the season. And I'm sure that's why it's gone the way it's gone. So let's look at the first game of game week 37. And it is Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Haha. I think they've done this on purpose, making these two teams play, very early, because Tottenham have got a Europa League final to look forward to next week, and Man United, which we'll come to very soon, also have a final against Tottenham. It'll be an interesting one, don't you agree? But let's look at this game. Excuse me. Aston Villa versus Tottenham. What do you think? I actually think Villa would do the business. Villa would beat Tottenham. And not just beat them, I feel they'll beat them well. Because Tottenham, they probably field their weak team, the weakest team again, just to preserve their players, which I don't understand why. Excuse me, just to preserve their players for the game happening on Wednesday. Yeah. So I feel Villa would win, and I'm going for Villa to beat Tottenham 2-1. What do you think? Let us know in the comment section. Then the second game, like I said, Man United are playing as well. So it will be Chelsea versus Man United. Chelsea, they seem to have picked up form a bit lately, but you never know which Chelsea would turn up, because they also have a final. They also have a Conference League final. So I'm not sure how they are going to play that one, if they are going to turn up and give their best. But they are at home. So I'm assuming they would want to, and this is their last home game, I believe, because I think the next game they're away to Forest. So this is their last home game, so they will want to give their fans something to cheer about, give them hope that they're still going to be in Europe. They're still going to make the Champions League. I mean, I think they would be in Europe regardless, but making the Champions League is lying on these next two games. So yeah, I think they would struggle, but they might still win, just because of Man United would have bigger thoughts on the Europa League. They've lost Jackson for this game and for the rest of the season. So the problem is who would play up front for Chelsea, who's going to be the main striker. And Nkunku hasn't lived up to it. I don't know what's happened to Gui. I don't know if he's injured, because he had a good Conference League run. And who else can play up front? From the top of my head, I can't think of anyone else. Maybe they can't put Palmer there, but I know he will be in the game. But anyway, the bottom line is I feel Man United as well would rest players. They will rest the likes of, I'm sure Ahmad might not play. The likes of Casemiro maybe might play. Mount looked good in the last game. They might give him a run a game, I feel, just to get him proper ready for, because he might not start in the Europa. He might come on. So they would want him to be, the player they could depend on to come on and do the business. So my prediction is Chelsea to beat Man United 3-1. 3-1. Don't ask me who's going to score for Chelsea, because I don't know, but I feel they would get their acts together to try and make sure they beat Man United and, get that one step to Champions League football. Then we have Everton versus Southampton. Everton, Southampton. Southampton, like we know, are already down, but they haven't gone down without a fight. And I'm well done to them. Their last game, no one predicted that scoreline. 0-0 with Manchester City. Well, I know Man City as well. Their eye on the FA Cup coming up, but still, everyone played. The likes of Haaland was in that game. So it's not like they rested all their players and played kids or something. They played some of their main starting 11 players, and they still couldn't break Southampton down. So that is a bit worrying. But on Southampton's side, that's a good thing. They kept their acts together and make sure they didn't concede. Yeah, so well done to Southampton. But this game, Everton will be too strong for them. Everton are one of the teams in form right now. They went their last game and they won. And I feel they will do it again today. Beating Southampton 3-1. I've gone for 3-1 to be the scoreline. West Ham versus Nottingham Forest. West Ham, Nottingham Forest. I see that one being a very, very tough game for Forest. West Ham, they've been in and out this season, but they've won some games where no one expected them to win. So I'm seeing this game as one of those games where nothing would be expected of them and they would go ahead and win. And this might also be I'm not 100% sure, but this might be their last home game. So I feel they would want to give their fans something to cheer about. And I'm going to go for a slim win for Nottingham Forest. No, for West Ham, sorry. West Ham to win 1-0. Because they're at home, I'm going for West Ham to win 1-0. And then we look at the next game, which is Brentford versus Fulham. That will be an interesting game as well. It's a London derby. Yeah, one of them ones where you never really talk about as a London derby, but it is a London derby. And Brentford, they've had a good season. They're fighting for Europe, actually. They're fighting for, I don't know if it's a Conference League or the Europa now, but they've got hopes of playing in Europe. So this game, I know they'll take it seriously and not want to lose. But Fulham, normally a very difficult team to play. They're a very, very good team, and I see them posing a lot of problems for Brentford. And because it's a London derby as well, bragging rights, I see Brentford and Fulham ending in a draw, 2-2. I see that one finishing 2-2. Then we look at Leicester versus Ipswich. We all know these two teams are relegated. So it will be interesting to see how both teams, shape up for this game. Are they going to take it seriously? Because we have nothing to fight for. It's not a relegation battle. We're both down. So it will be one of them games where I feel everyone would think nothing's going to be happening there, but there will be a lot happening. And I see that game having a lot of goals in it. And I think there will be a winner. And I think Leicester will be the winner. Leicester would win 3-2. Leicester to beat Ipswich 3-2. Then Arsenal versus Newcastle. Normally, there should be nothing riding on this game, but it's a fight for who's going to finish second. I feel whoever wins this game finishes second. So Arsenal, this is their last home game, had a poor season. By all accounts, it was supposed to be great, and it just went all the way down. So they fought hard in their last game against Liverpool, coming from 2 goals down to draw 2-2. So that will give them confidence going into this game that, look, the season's been bad, but we can't just let everything be bad. Let us give our fans something to say, okay, fair enough, you didn't, present us with anything, but you still fought to the end. That's the kind of fight we like to see. Because if you come next season, you're in this kind of situation, we have that hope that you will keep fighting till the very last game, like you did the season before. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Arsenal for a slim win. So Arsenal to just pip Newcastle to the win. 2-1. I'm going for Arsenal to win 2-1. Brighton versus Liverpool. Brighton are also having hopes of playing in Europe. So I think because Liverpool have already won the title, they're just making sure everyone's having a game and that. So I see this one being one of them games where there'll be nothing in it. It'll be one of them boring games. I mean, there will be goals, I feel. There will be goals. And it will be maybe defensive errors that would lead to goals and all that. So I'm going to go for this game to finish in a 2-2 draw. Then we have Crystal Palace versus Wolves. Remember, Crystal Palace are going to be involved in the FA Cup on Saturday with Manchester City. That is why their game is coming up later on in the week on a Tuesday. So I see them, depending on what happens in the FA Cup. If they win, they probably lose this game. It doesn't matter. We've got a cup. We've won something. But if they lose, they'll probably just want to make sure they still keep that momentum going, making sure that they play well. And that is why I've gone for this game to finish in a draw, 2-2 draw, because Wolves, they were poor in their last game, I feel, but they will bounce back, because if you notice, their manager has been nominated as one of the managers of the season. And he hasn't been there full season, but he has been nominated because of the good work he's done at Wolverhampton. So you know that when they go to Crystal Palace, they would give their all. And I see them giving their all in that game. And the last game, Manchester City versus Bournemouth. Man City versus Bournemouth. I see Man City, again, depending on what's happened in the FA Cup. If they've won the FA Cup, they'll probably draw this game or even lose. But if they lose the FA Cup, I see them trying to make amends with this one. But it might be too late. But I see them winning. I've gone for a win, and I'm peeping them to win 1-0. Man City to beat Bournemouth 1-0. Okay, what are your thoughts on this week's predictions? Do you think Man City can do it after an FA Cup win or loss? Crystal Palace as well, do you think they can do it? The battle for second, who's going to get it? Newcastle or Arsenal? The battle for Europe, Chelsea going to be in there? Aston Villa going to be in there? Nottingham Forest going to be in there? Who do you think is going to finish in the top 5? Let us know in the comment section. And I'm sure when we bring our next video, where we're going to be looking at the players of the season, you don't want to miss that one, guys. You do not want to miss that one. And I'll see you in our next video. Bye for now.
Don't check this.